All right, and then now quickly, Mark, regarding Tysabri and Biogen Idec and Novartis and essentially the whole MS development that's been happening in the past 3 to 4 weeks. Where do you view that? Do you think that the small molecule approval from Novartis is really going to be jeopardizing the franchise that Biogen Idec has in multiple sclerosis, or is it just going to be an additional tool for the doctors to use?
So yeah, it's a good question. So on one hand, the approval of Gilenya, it may be pronounced Gilenya. We're not sure yet because Novartis won't confirm or deny the pronunciation yet. But let's just call it Gilenya. So on one hand, the approval of Gilenya is very important because because it's oral. It's the first oral drug. It's the first time a patient with MS now has a choice. They don't have to inject themselves. On the other hand, Gilenya is a brand new drug with significant safety concerns, right. And that's well documented and well known. And these are concerns these span the organ system. So infections, potential heart issues, potential lung issues, potential eye issues. So the safety profile has yet to really be fully understood. That said, the FDA label that was issued last week upon approval of this drug was relatively benign, in my view, and I think in many investors' view. And what I mean by that is there was no safety black box. There was no black box at the top of the label which emphasized these safety concerns. The safety concerns were all listed in the label, but it was not emphasized. So I'm actually beginning to think that the launch of this drug could be stronger than I would have thought before the approval. So originally I thought that this drug would largely be a niche drug for patients who just didn't want a needle, or for patients who had no other options. They had tried everything and they had no options. I think the label now reads in a way that I think could encourage broader use. So currently I think that at peak, Gilenya could take something on the order of 20% of the MS market, which is about double what I originally thought, and that's got to take to some extent that's going to take away from Biogen's franchises. And so I think the answer to your question is yes. I think it's going to negatively impact the Avonex franchise and to some degree the Tysabri franchise. Now the answer for Biogen, hopefully, is that Biogen has 2 or 3 programs in phase 3 for MS right now. And we're going to see those data for those drugs come out over the next 2 to 3 years. And so it's possible that Biogen can come out with new drugs that can compete more effectively with the next generation orals coming out. And Biogen has an oral drug of their own that we'd hope to see phase 3 data for next year. So I guess the bottom line I'll leave it with is that while I think that it does jeopardize Avonex and Tysabri, I think that the death of Biogen's entire MS franchise has probably at this point been a little bit exaggerated.